I guess it's Tyler Streeter. You still have a little bit of time to get a question in if you have one. You can call 920-358-0795. Tyler's playing with his popper he made last night with us. And
if you want to call in, we can do a live fortune tell with this thing.
Tyler, what indie bands inspired you growing up and now? You mentioned Nirvana is the catalyst that got you started into music, but what kind of, I don't want to say local bands, but independent bands have inspired you along your journey?
You know what really got me into just like where I am today with like modern groups was the Give 'Em the Boot compilations that Hellcat Records put out. Like, so many labels used to put out compilations, and it was amazing. I think they put out like 5 of them, and I listened to the first 4 religiously. And they're kind of all over the place, just with like ska to punk, hardcore, like that kind of thing. That's how I heard of the Slackers too. It's so it was important to me at the time because all of those people on that particular label that I met were all super down to earth, and like there was no ego about them at all. They were super approachable to talk to, and as like a teenager, like that's really important, and that's what I guess I strive to be too. I mean, I'm socially awkward as hell, but you try and get past that to talk to people.
And kind of on that, you're very approachable, in your music. And we had a question from Kelly in Fond du Lac, and she wanted to know, she said that she's been at some Streeter shows where you've given away guitars, and she wants to know why you do that and if you still do that. And she wanted to know when the last time you gave away a guitar was.
I don't remember the last time I gave one away. I try and do it at all ages shows, so it was probably the Alley Project during Mile of Music, I think. I
think you had a pink guitar, right? During that Alley show?
I don't remember. I have them for like a day, which those guitars are somehow way better than mine. But it was the same kind of concept of when I was young and all these people were like influencing me. Like, I don't know, just to have the opportunity that you might not have to get, I don't know, like a free guitar or any of that stuff. Try and get them young, and then they can morph musically, if they choose to, into any kind of route. But you always have to start from somewhere, I guess.
Does that mentality come from, like you said, when growing up and approaching other musicians that were kind to you?
I would say so, yeah.
I remember you did a couple shows that I thought were interesting. You did a show, a bunch of 90s shows at Fox River House, and I thought those were great because you would go as far as to get a lot of 90s things to display.
Love it.
And we can kind of tie that into the conversation. You have a booth at an antique mall.
I have 2 booths.
2 booths?
At 2 different antique malls. Our first one that we got in July is at Antique Up in Kimberly, Wisconsin. And we also just got one at Memories Antique Mall in Little Chute. And over there is where I tend to keep like the really cool old like 90s stuff, which is not that old, but
how do you go about stocking the booths? Are you just constantly on the prowl?
Oh yeah, it's a hustle.
And
if you're selling, I'm a buying.
You mentioned you had a handful of songs ready for an EP, or
yes.
Enough for an EP.
Yep.
What is the mood of those songs? Are we going to hear more?
They aren't complete yet, so I'm not sure. But generally,
are they in the direction of like a beat?
Yeah.
Or, okay, great.
More mid, kind of danceable pace tempo.
I wanted to ask you, you've been involved in the scene for quite a while. Your opinion, your take, how has the scene in the Fox Valley changed from when you started here to now?
There's a lot less houses to play at, which is kind of a drag because that's where we got our start in Appleton. We played at the BFG, or I played there as Hunger Strike Riot. For the most part, though, like it's improving. It's just trying to find, like, say, more all ages places to play. But that's about it.
So you think we need an all age venue? A good one.
One that also serves alcohol.
I'm just going to awkwardly stare at you as we sit here in silence.
We can do that too.